So my old furnace has started to develop a bit of a squeak here, and I figured out what it was. It's the bearings and the fan starting to go. I changed them about, probably 10 years ago, and they're starting to go again now. I was able to find some bearings locally for the fan and fix it that way, and it runs quite a bit. In the wintertime we can hit minus 40, minus 50 with the wind chills, so this old furnace works a lot. And well, it'd be nice to get a newer updated furnace. For now, I'm keeping going by being able to fix this one. I'm going to show you how to fix it, and hopefully that will help you out. It's important to be able to fix your own mechanical things in case of a situation where something goes down and maybe somebody can't come and fix it for you right that day, and if it's minus 40 out, you need to have your furnace running. So I'll show you how I fix the bearings in this next in this video. Okay, so here we're looking inside the furnace. I just put a new filter on there. I had to change out the pulley here and the belt. I need to tighten the belt up a little. I loosened it right off just because of the bearings going. It's actually the bearings on this side that are starting to go. As you can see there, I sprayed some oil on it just to keep it going. So what I'm going to do now is I'll have to disconnect the power and disconnect the wiring here. Sorry, it's getting a little blurry there. Disconnect the wiring, and then I can take this all out, and I'll take the fan out. We'll pull the bad bearings off. We'll just change them both. Being a mechanic, I'll tell you, if you're going to change a bearing on a shaft because it's going, the one on the other side will be going too. So you want to change both bearings whenever you do this. Sorry, that's not the best view. There's the other bearing up in there. But we'll get this changed out, and once I get it pulled out, I'll update you a little more here. Something else I wanted to point out to you before you work on any electronics in your home, or electrical. This isn't electronics, it's electrical. There is a difference. First, make sure the power is off, and then this just has two tabs, one here, one goes down here. I've already marked the power off, but you want to make sure you mark them so that they go back, so that your motor turns in the right direction when you hook everything back up. If you hook it up backwards, your motor will turn backwards. Or if you are working on something that's electronic, you'll totally fry whatever's in the system if you put the power back together backwards. So just grab a Sharpie, mark it with something you'll know, so that when you go to put it back together, you're going to be able to get it back together the right way. Okay, so now that the wiring's undone, obviously this thing could use a good cleaning. I've got it pulled out. Now the wall is there, which actually blocks how far I can go out. But that's not a problem. All I have to do is undo these screws on each side of the fan, and then I can pull the whole fan unit out, leaving the rails, which slide it in and out of the furnace. I'll leave the rails hanging there, and I'll take the fan and motor assembly off, and then we'll take a look at these fan bearings. As you can see, you should be able to hear this. Maybe you can see it. That movement shouldn't be there. That should be tight. So we're going to take it apart, and I really hope I can fix this. Okay, sorry about that. So the tensioner, which is back under here, actually pushes the motor. There, you can see it there. It pushes the motor away from the fan, thus tightening, or if you move it closer, loosening the belt. So what we'll do here now is we'll loosen that tensioner off here, take the belt off, undo these screws here, take the motor off, and then we can address our bearings. So where did I get a pulley like this just to have one around in case? Of all places, the dump. If you ever are out to the dump and you're allowed to salvage at your dump, if you are, some places you can, some you can't. keep an eye out for things like motors out of furnaces. Maybe the motor shop at the pulley might be good, and maybe you can use that to save yourself someday. Try and collect usable things. Once you have a couple, stop collecting them, or you'll end up with a pile of junk that you don't need, and then you have to take back to the dump yourself. Okay, I have some more good news. Before I put these bearings in, this was just brass bushings that wore out. So what I've done is I moved the shaft out a little bit, and I found that when I changed this last time, that shaft had been a little worn, but it seemed to fit okay. But moving that shaft back out a little bit has actually tightened it up inside the inner flange of that bearing, and that was where my play was coming from. The bearings feel good, they spin good. I cleaned all of the fins on this, and I got a whole pile of dust. It's disgusting. I can't believe how much dust built up in that fan over 10 years. Of course, I mean, that's a long time, but now that that's all cleaned out, we should have a lot better fan flow out of this. I moved the shaft out a little bit. We have enough still to put our bearings on. So I'll throw my little lock collar back on here, throw the pulley back on, put the motor on with the new pulley for it, and in a little while we should be making some heat here again. Okay, so we just fired her back up again. You can see the flames there warming up the furnace. I did this on a day when it was only -4, so I chose a warm day. Okay, I've got it back in. Everything's cleaned up and installed. Should be a few minutes here. It'll kick back on and we'll see if we've made an improvement or not. There we go. It's turning. It's much more quiet. Way better than it was. I'd say we have a fix. One thing that's important is get the belt alignment right. You can see the two pulleys are lined up there. You have to make sure you have that right, otherwise you're going to eat up your belt in a hurry. The belt is kind of loose, but it seems to be working fine even with the smaller pulley. Thanks for watching. I hope this taught you something and that you can enjoy it. Please like and subscribe if you like. Feel free to comment. Let's learn together here. Have a great day.